Shelton down, and then you'll get it. But sometimes there are other problems too. Like we said, there was a spike in the electricity at one point that affected our feed. So if you're not getting it, it's not because we're not there. Otherwise, people message me about Zafenu. Sometimes we had some problem with our page some time ago, got taken down, and so there is something called MBC On Demand. You go to MBC, was that? Right, so Jaquan has just checked the YouTube live streaming and it is working, it is up. So if you're not getting it, it's because, there may be some other problem at your end. Like when I hosted Zafenu, people were asking about it. And it is MBC On Demand that you have to go, and then right away when you go there, you'll see the videos. And you will see one of them is live if there's a live program, because I used to go to MBC On Demand and then it would just show me live, and Zafenu would be live. I don't know if MBC On Demand also shows the real issues, but no, you have to go real 913, okay? So you'll get it. But sometimes, there are glitches that are not related to anything we are doing over here, okay? I just wanted to let you know that. Folks, let me see, did I have anything else I had to say? There are too many people who are busy preening themselves, patting themselves, flattering themselves on the notion that they're what they are not. And I will restrain myself from saying that they are more. They flatter themselves into thinking that they are more than what they are, because I don't like to craft my communication in any way that seems like it is putting people down, like this is a lofty height too high for you to reach. Even the most ordinary man can sometimes show himself to be sharper, can sometimes show himself to be deeper than the man who's celebrated for his wisdom, for his expertise, for his knowledge. And I know in St. Lucia, as other places, there's a lot of sensitivity about people who have degrees, and before some people talk to you, it's like there's a defensiveness, and you sense that something about it is hurting their self-esteem. There are many people who don't have degrees and they don't make a big deal of it, but there's some people who seem to be very sensitive about it, that any time is to tell people I don't have a degree, but I know I have common sense and I'm smart, and so it creates a little obsession with always wanting to prove that I'm smarter than people who have degrees and people who have name and this sort of thing. And sometimes the people who have degrees, they don't care about that. They don't even, bother with that. We make assumptions about people. We believe that they are pompous and full of themselves, when the people, they're not like that. That's not the way they're thinking at all. They don't have this kind of attitude, I'm higher than you, I'm bigger than you. It's something that we burden and abuse our minds with, that this person think they're better than me. And sometimes that is furthest at all from the people's minds. And so what we have found now, or what I find, is that a lot of people who are out there trying to topple and surpass and overthrow and denigrate and put down people who they assume look down on them because they occupy some position higher than them, and so I have to show I'm smarter than them. And many of these people, because their life has been committed to a search for knowledge, of self-improvement, of getting to know, sometimes you happen to be talking to them casually and you tell them something and they never knew, and they're the first to say, oh, I didn't know that, and you might be surprised that they'll admit and they'll tell you that they didn't know that, and they're very happy to hear you tell them something that they didn't know, because that is the thing about expertise and specialization. Someone wrote somewhere, I can't remember, that an expert is somebody who knows more and more about less and less, or who knows everything about a little. When they focused on that area of the expertise or specialization, that's what they focused on. The doctor who's a heart specialist, he first had to be a general doctor. You don't just go and specialize in heart and cardiology. You first have to be a general doctor, general practitioner, whatever, and then you go and you specialize in the heart. He spends all those years with the heart because it's a specialization. So many people have had problems. It's not worth his while. It's not wise. It's not cost effective. It's not good resource utilization for him to want to be a doctor of everything. To be a doctor who does a little here, a little there. He focuses on the heart because there are too many people with heart problems who need somebody who can tell you everything about the heart. Now, it doesn't mean he didn't know about the tonsils before. It doesn't mean he didn't know about the testicles before. It's just that over the years he has, because of his specialization and other doctors referring people to him and so on, it's more and more the heart. But for him to know the heart, he has to know a lot of things because the heart impacts so many things. Why is that heart struggling? Is there a lung problem? He probably might refer you to, how do you call it, a pulmonologist, a lung doctor and so on. That he knows about it, but he's specializing in this. And so you come to him with something about an appendicitis, whatever. It's not that you don't know anything about appendicitis, but he'd prefer you to go to somebody who deals with appendix and how do you call it, gastroenterology or whatever, so on, to look into that for you. Because his head is right down, deep down the rabbit hole of heart issues and so on. So he tells you about that. Why am I going with this? Why am I coming? It's not a doctor thing I'm here to talk about. I just find there are too many people who seem to have this obsession, this need to prove that they're knowledgeable more than they really are. Anybody can become knowledgeable. But provided you are prepared to spend the time, put out the effort, take the trouble to properly read, research, not just on the internet, go to libraries, go to people who have whatever books and ask them if they can let you sit there to read it, if they will not let you go away with it. Ask people questions, experts, whether they be doctors, politicians. A lot of people with a lot of knowledge they didn't go sit down in college or university. They spoke to people, they asked the right questions, they took notes mentally and otherwise, and they got to know about it. And nowadays, there's some people who want to come and parade themselves as being, for example, political analysts. The political analysts more than anybody. They know things more than anybody else. And so they're busy, always try. And you know what they're doing? The people who they're supposedly working with, they're creating problems for them. They're creating issues for them. Now, there's a democracy when it comes to information, as there is an even greater democracy when it comes to knowledge. But it takes more than just sitting there and saying, you see, this thing, I look into that already, and when I check that, this is what. And then, you bury your mind. You bury that in your mind, and you bury your mind in that. And you're not looking at anything else. Because there is a little ego about the human being, where we like to believe that something arose from within us. And we figured it out. I find it true about people who believe in getting their inspiration from the herb, from weed and so on. They smoke a weed and they figure, boy, just on their meditation, how the Rastas used to call it before, the itation or whatever, that they just in the itation and everything just came to them. Now that's possible. Maybe some things will come to you, but not everything. The alcoholic feels the same way. When he has, whether it is his rum punch or his puff or his abacontois or whatever it is, and this thing hits home, he feels, he's a man, as the Rastas again would say, he overstand everything. Rastas seem to tell you they understand. They overstand everything. It doesn't work that way. We have to stop thinking that we know everything or it is possible. Not even the experts know everything. Back in the day, you talk to Dr. Tennyson Joseph, political scientists and so on, and they never parade themselves like they understand. Sometimes this one has a PhD in political science, but he specializes in this aspect of government. This one has a PhD in political, he speaks about the evolution of political parties. This one's focused upon the trade union movement and how a lot of trade unions went on and metamorphosed or, evolved into political parties and so on. This is expertise. You get to focus and to learn and to know and to understand more about less. It's like you start there and then, like a cone, it narrows down to a pinpoint. And folks, I just find too many people, they're very erratic and they very much have a destructive, what you call dilettantism about them. They're dilettantes. They jump in all over the place into everything because they understand, they know who's going to win and who's going to lose. You can't do that and you're part of a disciplined organization, because when you do that, some of the people you end up talking to, they're just playing you. They're just picking your brains, getting things from you and so on, so that they can go and cause more issues and more problems with it. I'm going to tell you all that. Stop this thing about, on the one hand, you're saying Philip J. Pierre is a 6-star general. Not even Philip J. Pierre, even if he believes, he ain't going to huff you if you call him 6-star general. But I know Philip J. Pierre is a man who has a very humble and modest opinion about himself. He knows his limitations. If you could find the time, which is very difficult to find as a prime minister right now, but I know him for many years. The man would send you, if nobody tell you and you didn't know he's the prime minister or whatever, you would know. He'll, Shelton, what do you think of so and so and so? You know, I'm sure it's not that he doesn't have a million ideas, but that's him. He will ask for opinion. He'll listen to people. From way back in the day, I know him. That is the way, you know. He'll hear you first before he say, you know what I find? He's not to cover you out because he's the expert. But if you say he's a 6-star general, one of the great things about generalship is not of someone who comes and tells the other generals and the other colonels and majors who work with him, look, this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to do this, we're going to go there, we're going to go that. Usually the generalship is brilliant because they bring people and say, look, guys, we have this thing facing us there. I have looked at it, but I want to hear from you all. What do you all think? Because we need to do something XYZ. But what is the best way? We want to demonstrate that we are focused and we know what we're doing, but at the same time, we don't want to be overbearing and antagonize people. And then around the table, and I'm sure in his cabinet, even though I've never been in a cabinet room, I'm sure this is the way Philip J. Pierre operates. Many of you always see Richard Frederick, the brashness that you'll think you see, and the man who, blows everybody away. Richard Frederick could not have accomplished the things he has accomplished in Central Castries. Whether it be Serenity Park, whether it be whatever it is, vendors, place and this kind, he would never accomplish if he was not a man who listens. If he was not a man who calls his people together, whether at national housing, whether at city council, local government, he could never be the man who accomplishes and gets things done if he drowns out everybody else's voice. We tend to make impressions of people based upon the superficial projections. What we believe is the person, and that is not how they are in accomplishing things. He could never do it. And the same goes for every other minister. So when you all believe that you know something about a constituency and this person is in trouble and they're gone and so on, you don't believe Philip J. Pierre knows that. You don't believe he's hearing that. You don't believe he's getting the vibes. But unlike the way you think you want to do, to run to this constituency and go to a bar and have a few beers with somebody and believe you have the measure of everything, as a political leader, he's asking different people the right questions and looking at different ways without going out and creating more problems for a situation, whether it be his minister, prospective candidate. He has a burden of responsibility that he has to fulfill, that he has to carry. And he has to do so with dignity and decorum. The person who by all reports, and I can't speak as if I know for a fact, who from everything I've told behaves that way, comes to sit at the table. And usually when people do that, it is because they are insecure in the knowledge that they truly possess, in their understanding that they need to show people that they're in charge. So they come and they sit down and say, okay, this is what we're going to do, before they hear anybody. And as far as they're concerned, for you to tell them, look, I have a different idea, is to be insolent, is to want to undermine them, is to want to challenge them. The person I've heard who's like that is Alan Chasney. And I haven't heard it from one person here. I've heard it from people. When I tell you, a lot of people who have been with the guy, worked with him, and so on, they're not labor people. People who are flamboyant, they tell me, look, this guy from long, I've known him, and that's the way he is. He thinks he knows everything. And you'll be surprised if I tell you one of those names. I feel like doing it, but I have this thing of respecting confidentiality, even if it's many years ago. Who told me Alan's biggest problem is that he thinks he's smarter than everybody. You'll be very, very surprised if I tell you that. There's another person now who's busy in the UWP trying to suck up to Alan, who told me personally, and I can tell you where it was, down in the Massey. It wasn't called Massey yet, in cul-de-sac. Who told me he knows Alan doesn't like him, and he gave me the reasons why Alan doesn't like him. But I think afterwards, some kind of rapprochement between them was brokered. And I know by who brokered the rapprochement between them and said, you all better work together and so on. I'm not going to say. But this is the Alan Chasney way of doing things. You must submit to me because I have all the answers. I know. I told you another guy and I'm only mentioning his name because he's passed away. I won't even mention the name of the lady, although I know she won't mind, but I want to be absolutely sure unless I ask the permission. The three of us stood near the post boxes at the Gablewoods Mall in Sunny Acres, which is Alan's father's property, isn't it? Over that little low wall that separates the post boxes and the food court inside there from the parking lot. We stood there and Nigel Mitchell told me and that woman how. Was it in Soufriere Regional Development, I think Heritage Tourism Program he was working. Nigel Mitchell, who, the husband, of Leslie Crane Mitchell, has big apartment buildings, I used to encounter him a lot. When I was going up to Radio Center, a friendly guy used to stop and talk and tell me we must make some time to go walking together and so on, etc. And Nigel told us one of the things about Alan that put him off was after the man became Minister of Tourism and Civil Aviation following the December 2006 general elections. He wasn't elected to the House of Assembly yet. As 10 years before he got elected. And Alan Chasney put them to sit down and told them his plans for heritage tourism as Minister of Tourism. One of the first things the guys told him, he wants to make 3 things clear. Those who work with him must not question him, must not try to help him, and must not second guess him. You figure that out. Don't question me, don't second guess me, and don't try to help me. In other words, I have everything figured out. When I come and I tell you something, don't bother trying to give me any kind of suggestions as if to make it better. Just do what I tell you. How can such a person have any success? And by success, I don't mean winning elections. Donald Trump has won 2 elections. You would expect that at least in the second coming of Donald Trump that he would be wiser, that would be more mature. The guy is even more chaotic than he was at first. He has not been mellowed by the lessons, if not of history, of certainly his own experience of having been there and knowing what works. More and more you realize that making America great again is about making me feel great about myself. And that you are going to have your way with me once you agree to continuously sing the refrain of how great thou art, Donald. That's what you are. And foreign leaders who are expert at espionage, at subversion, at, manipulation and so on, they are having a field day like Vladimir Putin, an ex-spy. That North Korean guy did for some time. Just, I can imagine Vladimir telling Donald, man, I've been waiting for you to come back. I don't know what I would have done. I know things will be better, because you are a man of ideas. Blow smoke up his behind. That's what you need to do. And so we have to be careful about what we quantify and qualify as success. As I'm telling you, this second Trump presidency is going to be even more chaotic. Within less than a month. They say today is a month, Today is a month since the inauguration of Donald Trump. And look at the absolutely topsy-turvy way that the world has been turned on his head and plate banan and mate banan and whatever, making enemies of allies, old, allies and so on, stabbing people in the back. It's just crazy what is going on there. Crazy, crazy, crazy. No time to settle himself in, no time to give anybody time to settle. You come in on your first day and put in 100% tariff. Who can absorb that? When you don't give them any time to adjust, no negotiation, nothing. You don't let this thing filter through World Trade Organization and world, nothing like that. You just, the shock effect, firing people by the thousands, your own people, your own people. You're not happy with the pork barrel and the bloated public service, yes, but these are real human beings. These are real human beings. Even if you come in tomorrow here, the tropical Trump, And you find that the civil service in St. Louis, they all say that, you know. They all say that you need to cut the civil service by half, but then you realize all they want to do is to make room for their people, their supporters. So it's a revolving door, musical chairs kind of thing. I will fire people not for more efficiency, so that I can bring in my own people. But if you want to come into more and to find the civil service is bloated, yes, it needs to be cut. I'm prepared to concede and agree. But you don't just come and on your first day you find 10,000 people. Where are you sending them? What effect are you going to have on the credit union from which they borrowed? On the banks that they cannot pay and the bank don't have anything to take, and the car dealers who just grind to a halt because the people used to make them sell a little vehicle and a little SUV. They can't do it again. And the housing market crashes and collapses, and construction industry, the chaos you're creating. And I'm convinced that if we do the same thing in the tropical context here in St. Lucia, because Donald Trump seems to be all about revenge and having a go and you know, clapping back at people who said this about him and who did this, and pulling their security, their state provided security, secret service, whatever, and you know, I mean, it just seems to be absolute madness. You go after everybody who he had some beef with, things had some beef with him, journalists and prosecutors and FBI people and everything. You are eviscerating, you are disemboweling your own country, and that over which your allies are now turning against the guy. People getting vexed. My greatest sadness, I've told you already, is about South Africa. But to me, this is what I see going to happen in St. Lucia. Of another one, not on the scale of Trump, but you can see the similarities. Who just wants to be admired and told how great he is and to prove that he knows. Truly knowledgeable people are very secure. They're so comfortable in their skin. They don't need people coming to tell them all the time how great and how wise you are, oh Supreme One, and so on. They don't need that. And they also have a modesty about them that if they find out they don't know, they'll admit and accept they don't know and listen to people who know. The greatest thing about leaders is that they will listen to many different people, and now they are the ones who have to make the call as to which one is the best advice. I'm sure even around the cabinet table, different ministers have different ideas and different about how to go. At the end of the day, Prime Minister listens to all of them and decides, okay, based upon the information I have about the funds available, based upon this, based upon that, I think we should go that. Somebody has to make the final call. So you people who want to be out there parading about how you are a political analyst and you know that and you're premature and you're going out there and saying things and, you know, be very careful with that. Be very careful with that. And I'll repeat something that I said. You know, when I come to give a bit of advice, it's not to show I'm brighter than anybody. Most times I'm more ignorant than a lot of people, most people, maybe everybody else. But be very careful about this tendency you have. At the moment you hear somebody talking or expressing themselves in a manner that seems to coincide with your own opposition, antipathy, abhorrence to somebody, that you quickly rush to embrace them. Be very careful. Be very careful about them. Not because somebody making noise, not because Jaquan and I have a little thing here, and I hear somebody bad-mouthing Jaquan, that I have to stop and join the conversation and say everything, because I imagine that because I don't like Jaquan and they're talking against him, that automatically means that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Be very careful. There are a lot of people playing games. And they play games for their own gain and for their own benefit. A lot of noises made are simply noises of, if not blackmail, they're noises of browbeating. That if you don't give me something that I want, whether it's some money you want to pass, whether it's my bill you want you want the person to pay for you. So right away you just see some people sometimes just tearing into other people something they want. A bone they want somebody to throw them. And once they throw the bone to them, either they quiet or they get to singing the praises. Singing like, not so much canaries, but as yard fowls. You know? Because what is a yard fowl going to be more fond of than the hand that hand feeds it the corn that it has? You know? It's going to stick to that hand, to the person behind that hand, because it's being fed. Now, I don't have anything against people collecting and getting what they can get, it's them. And I ain't saying that if I am in need of some corn and somebody feeding me, I ain't going to peck too, and I ain't going to become a yard fowl. I don't think I've been. But be very careful. Let people do their thing. Don't get in their way. They want to sing the praises here because, they want this or they want to be endorsed as being a candidate and so on, and they're not sure if they will get it. Let them do their do, but you be careful about running forward to embrace people and tell them that everything about them is nice. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're so great and you're so wonderful. Because we imagine that in doing so, we are stacking the deck against that other third party that we don't want, and we, nous just ka buy chauffement because nous voulons buy chasne plok. Et qui ka buy chasne plok. They can give chasne plok now. And as things progress, the day before the election, you just watch and you just see how they just pivot and they just swing. And at the end of the day, it can end up making you look stupid, making you look bad, making you look like you have a problem, like you have a fault, that this person has abandoned Chasney and they came to you and now they decide, Masapon. Sometimes that was the plan all along. That was the plan all along, to show how you're so hopeless. You're so useless. There is no hope, no dice for you. That I was prepared to abandon this person and come to you, but Shelton, Monsieur, that's so. I vote by Monsieur Osal. By Monsieur Sipo. That was the plan all along. The time of the pivot was well timed to have that kind of effect. I ain't telling you to quarrel with them. I ain't telling you to cuss them. I ain't telling you to shove them. I ain't telling you to huff them. I'm just saying, be very careful how you embrace people. Where you embrace them, what time you embrace them, and if you should embrace them at all, or if you should just let them be. You stay there, you watch what they're doing, they tell you, okay, but be very careful. Stop trying to be wiser than the people who've been doing this. Philip J. Pierre, and those are the people who are veterans, who have, been there and they've seen those things, they know when the wind is blowing and so on. I've been watching it. Some people have their lives and whatever, and then I see certain people who I know, they know better than that, but they figure that they're serving a good cause, to go in there. And it's the things they tell the people, as if, you were so wonderful and you're so sincere. One thing I can say about you, you always speak your mind. And I know they're doing it because they figure that they're serving a good cause, pour pitcher, pour buy piquant, pour buy chauffement, so you can make pretty pressure. People, be very careful with this kind of thing. Cool out yourselves. Cool out yourselves. Sometimes all this endorsement you give the person, it ends up being used against you, and all it does is that it gives that person that pump, that lift, that wind beneath their wings and beneath their tails and so on. And later on, when you big them up like that, the day when you want to criticize them, they can say, but look, you were bigging me up and so on. Be very careful with those things. You say, Shelton, that's politics. I say, play a different kind of politics, a politics of genuineness, of sincerity. And above all, if you think you have good leaders and representatives, look to them, listen to them, take your cue, follow their lead. And I think that will be a wiser thing than trying to chart your own path of what you are not, political analyst and this kind of thing and all of that. That's Shelton Daniel speaking, by the way, that's me. This is The Real Issues. We're overdue for a commercial break. Let's take it, and when we come back, I think we can go to the phone lines.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Telephone lines are open for your calls. The WhatsApp number, you can WhatsApp call us on 487-9849. And you can also call us direct on 4533-911. Now, I know my phone, especially the WhatsApp, is probably overflowing with messages right now. You are WhatsApping me, as maybe a few of you even trying to call me. But here's what happened. I put it to charge, and then I left the house because I told you about my going to the customs on Tuesday, doing everything, getting my inspected and all, and just when it was time to go and pay, 3 o'clock arrived. I left her yesterday, intending to go and to get it done, and when I got outside, just outside, I told you how it took me 10 minutes to just cross the final 30 yards to get inside the studio of MBC. Well, yesterday after I left, 2 o'clock after 2, oh my. At the time I got in the area of where the CSA building is and the Carmen Rainey School, I mean, there was just so much traffic. So much traffic. I said, okay, let me turn back, turn right into Lance Road and continue up until I reach almost the top of the Leclerc Road. I saw even more traffic again. I made the little right to go to Darling Road. I said, traffic not moving. First time I found myself stuck in that little incline just when you get off Calvary Road and you're going down Darling Road. Right there, you know, so you have to hold your brake. I'm wondering, boy, when will somebody not realizing just come and slam into my back? It didn't happen. But when I saw there, I made the right turn by the First Baptist Church, and I just abandoned plans to go into town. And other people told me it was terrible. So I got up this morning, went to town very early. Had no problem, beat the traffic, whatever. Went to the port, and things worked smoothly from there. Came back out of there, went to a parking lot, did something else that I needed to do. As a matter of fact, told you about my printing little expedition yesterday. Realized I had forgotten my flash drive at the printing place. I went there, no problem, picked it up. The parking lot these days, which I find unusually busy, I got out of there, no problem, came back. So I came here to MBC, no big deal and so on. I saw some vehicles at the roundabout, but they were mostly those heading towards town. And that seems to be, it is heading to town, that seems to be, because I came through that same roundabout, a lot of traffic backed up, heading towards town. Came, made my turn by where CES, Computer Electrical Services, came to MBC. No problem. And then when I reached there, I realized I've forgotten my phone home. I live not far from the station. I told Jaquan, boy, obviously we're going to be a few minutes late because not having my phone is a problem. I got my WhatsApp on it and everything. So I said, let me go back and get it. Well, the moment I got outside, I reversed and turned to get into. I said, woo, the same traffic thing that I saw going to town. All the way from the Wasco building, right through here by the second roundabout and so on, going towards, I said, no way, I'm getting through that and I'm getting back here. So I abandoned, the plan to go get my phone. So if you've been messaging me and not getting through, I have set up a temporary phone and WhatsApp number. You can send me messages on this one. And that's only for today, I think. 384-4397. 384-4397. And if you can't get the line at any time and you want to call, maybe I can take a call on that one too. But I'd prefer you use this one for sending WhatsApp messages that you otherwise would have sent to my regular phone. 384-4397. All right, so our phone lines are open. The numbers, you can WhatsApp call us on 487-9849 and direct call us on 4533-911. We have our first caller. Hi, caller. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Shelton, good afternoon to your viewers and listeners.
How are you doing, sir?
Well, I'm wonderful. I'm smiling because I want to say on behalf of all people married to or living with public servants, thank you to the Prime Minister.
Let me ask you something, please. Mm-hmm. You made the call. I should really let you talk.
Go ahead, bro.
I went to town on Cameron Law yesterday, but then I'm listening and I'm hearing news about a statement put out by what I thought is a much more mature, much more experienced, much more savvy, not individual, but organization.
Organization. And a long-standing one as well.
Yes, and I'm in the National Workers Union putting out a statement that sounds almost like an echo and carbon copy of what Cameron Law was saying.
Shelton, let's be straight. And I did post it about it on Facebook. It just reeked of politics, of political bias, like I said, because the terms used and a blatant disregard or whatever it is of
Speak up, don't move your mouth by the phone because I'm hearing you well and then I'm not hearing you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the terms used a flagrant disregard, I believe, of the collective bargaining process or whatever it is, or the agreement. It just felt like an attack on the government, in fact, on the Prime Minister's address.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised and disappointed. Like I did sit on your show before, we all know the history of the National Workers Union, where they tend to lean, depending on what the government of the day, what party forms the government of the day. But I was terribly surprised when I saw my email. I do receive email from the NW all the time. And I saw that release and it really infuriated me because the Prime Minister's address for me provided maybe not hope, because to put it simply, the public servants will owe that money. But we must also remember that Alan Chasney government had sought to stall the payments to them and even look for other ways. Remember prior to the election, he spoke about removing VAT and look for creative ways to gain revenue, right? So he found a creative way to not pay the public servants by seeking to offer them bonds during COVID. So I think the public must never forget and the public servants in particular, they must never forget that the money that was owed to them was delayed by the last administration. And Philip J. Pierre and the cabinet of ministers kept with their promise to pay them the increase and also the back pay.
I'm just wondering, how can a trade unionist representing workers, representing your members, quarrel with money that is given to other public servants being given to your members, with the understanding that, okay, you're still in negotiations, but
we still negotiations.
If your negotiations end up turning out something different, whatever, we will deal with that. But don't let your members see so many other people collecting both back pay and current increase, whatever if it is. At least if you don't agree yet on the next triennium or the current triennium increase, the back pay, which is already a matter of record, which is calculated, which is computed, to at least give them that. You quarreling with giving your members,
not even a thank you.
I don't know.
I'll thank you, but in Alan Chasney style.
To me, when I say that, it is a clear indication that there is another agenda at work.
Of course, it's clear. It's clear, which is what infuriated me because, public servants are smiling all over the place. All over the place. You're hearing them talking. Boy, I heard walking in town this morning, trying to get stuff done. I'm hearing somebody when my back pay reached. 2 police officers stopped me. They were not in uniform, and they were speaking. And both of them were so happy. One is a pensioner.
Yeah, money don't fight. At the end of the day, once you have agreed to give an increase or whatever to public servants, all of them are going to get it, because you ain't going to say, okay, because these other ones didn't do this or that you're not going to give it to them. That's trouble you're asking for. Non-unionized people, you pay it all out to them, I don't know. Go ahead.
I have a message for both my friend Cameron Law and Mr. Terry Maynard, both of whom I have a lot of regard for. Right? We may not agree politically, but I have a lot of regard for them. If you disagree with the Prime Minister's decision and the negotiations made and the monies paid out to the public servants, please ask your members to return the money to the Treasury.
That's not going to happen. If those fellas, Philip J. Pierre, let me tell you, maybe Philip J. Pierre should have played his cards differently, better. Say, look, I don't know what will be the disposition of the Police Welfare and the National Workers Union, but I'm making them the offer that I will pay them, the money that has been paid for as back pay to the others. But if they don't want it because negotiations are ongoing, then their leaders can just, communicate that to us that they're not yet ready to accept it. If you see he had done, no, I'm just telling. If you see he had done that, and they had not taken the money, I suspect those fellows have been in serious trouble with their members,
and here's the thing.
Just wash the members like every day,
Yeah, of course. The PWS gripe is with fringe benefits, nothing to do with the wage negotiation. So how can you have a problem with your members being paid? Your members fine. In fact, I'm sure half of them probably spend half the money already.
Yeah, I'm telling you. This does not affect your negotiations and whatever. But you know what I think they're upset about? That the mere fact that this money has been given to the members will not support the holding out. Exactly. They continue to hold out and maybe put pressure on them. It's not anything about industry. The fellas are concerned that Philip J. Pierre, by paying them that money to every one of the public servants, even those whose leaders are holding out, not them, that it puts them under pressure and it makes their position untenable. These fellas are for themselves.
Yeah, of course. That's the way it appears. Anyway, Shelton, let me give you other callers a chance. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I've gotten my first message on 384-4397. That's the temporary WhatsApp number that we have, 384-4397. And someone says, yes, Shelton, you're very solid as usual today. And you know what hurts most about Tropical Trump's know-it-all behavior? My knowledge that this man never passed any exam at school in Canada. Michael Chasney was just wasting his money on Allen in Canada. I will be dropping the evidence in this election campaign later, as God is my witness. All right, we'll see how that goes. That's my temporary WhatsApp. Forgetting my phone that you can message me on. Even those of you who had already messaged me on my regular 286-5586, I forgot that phone. So 384-4397, you can send WhatsApp messages to this one. As well as you can WhatsApp call on 4879849, but we have a call on the landline right now. Good afternoon, Real Issues. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel.
Mr.
Daniel.
Yeah, Mr. Daniel, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm just calling to thank the Prime Minister for what I got today. I am very grateful for it. And whosoever don't want them, like the police officer, Mr. Cameron Law, he can pass him to take it back to the treasury if he doesn't want it. I'm very happy. Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister.
Right. Okay. Are you still in active service, or are you retired or something? I don't know. I heard that pension hasn't.
No, I'm a civil servant.
Okay. You're still okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Really appreciate you sharing that with us. Okay. All right. 4533911. That's the line on which this call just came, and you can WhatsApp call us on 4879849. We have another call coming. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
The great Shelton,
Hey,
man.
what's happening? What's up,
Yeah,
brother?
man, I cool there, man.
Yes.
Your caller who called you from IPI, man. You can remember that program, Shelton?
Oh yes.
In the public interest?
In the public interest.
So you not new at that game, my brother. You know your onions.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, you know your way wrong. Shelton,
Yes, man.
there's a caller who normally calls after me to say what I should have said, or what I could have said,
Or what you would say.
or what I would have said. Now, I want to make it clear that I believe that before I call, I am quite conscious of my delivery, and in the event I miss anything, I will call again to clarify myself. So nobody should say what I should have said, or what I could have said, or what I would have said. I hope that point is made absolutely clear.
Okay, boss.
Shelton, there is a Tarzan by the name of KKRR. Kasa, I don't know what obsession that man have with the Prime Minister, Kasa. Monsieur, Kasa, every single day that man attacking the Prime Minister on Facebook so relentlessly, and the more, as if like with no shame, the more he's been ignored, the more he's been treated, like someone who doesn't exist. Is the more you attacking my Prime Minister, a working man, a man who is focused, a man who took the country from the abyss, and who is bringing the country to normalcy, everybody eating, everybody happy, work is being done in the country, and every time that KKRR attacking the Prime Minister, KKRR never contribute nothing to the country. You never send on a barrel to help poor people. You never play no role in society. You never help nobody. You never support your country. As a matter of fact, you may even denounce or renounce your country. But you have a man who is a Prime Minister, who is living amongst his people, who is helping his people. But every single day, that KKR fella attacking the Prime Minister. KKR, one day you're going to pay for it, you know. You know what the man do, Shelton, in his latest attack? The two officers who found themselves in an unfortunate situation in the accident on the bikes. That man put a bottle of alcohol. That man put a bottle of alcohol by the officers. And he put a picture of JPS. And he want to insinuate that it's because of alcohol, you know. Instead of you say, well, you are happy that the police officers' lives are spared. Instead of you whisper a prayer for the police officers who found themselves in a vehicle accident. You want to insinuate that they were drunk, and it's the Prime Minister who gave them alcohol.
But isn't that the same? You see, you just have to look at those people and see how their mind and their thinking, if what you're saying is true, is damaged, and they don't think straight, and they don't think clear, and they're not stable. How can you associate Philip J. Pierre with alcohol? The very same man who inspired songs, Makaba Wom. Who told a man, I'm not giving you alcohol. If you want, I can give you a ginger ale or a shandy. But this man is going to give alcohol to police officers in uniform, on duty, motorcycle duty, and so on. The bike smash up and so on. Is he have to scratch his head to find money, where to find replacements, which he has been doing? I mean, that don't make sense.
Officers' lives are spared.
Yeah.
Our hardworking officers who make this sacrifice to maintain law and order. On that note, I pray that the officers who found themselves in that unfortunate situation, that God will heal them speedily to continue the hard work that they are doing. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks also. All right, are we due for a commercial break, Jaquan? Or we have another call? Okay, let's take the break and then we'll come back to take more calls. The messages are kind of difficult for me right now. I'll try to go on our Facebook Live to try to get it. But you know what it's like with your phone or your whatever device when you have your whole life on it. So we'll be back shortly. This is The Real Issues.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
You listening to The Real Issues on this Thursday, the 20th of February 2025. Do we have someone on the line? Did the line ring? Hi, caller, are you there? Alright, no. Alright, we're taking your calls until 2 o'clock. Remember, we have to stop exactly at that time. And the numbers to call are the WhatsApp call line, which is 487-9849. And you can also call us on 4533-911. As well as we have 384-4397 for WhatsApp messages. You normally send them to me on my regular private number, but that's not available today, so we have a temporary number for WhatsApp messages. Okay, so the WhatsApp calling 487-9849. The WhatsApp messages just for today 384-4397, and of course our ever faithful landline 4533-911. Now, I was asking Jaquan during the break, since Independence Day falls on a Saturday, does that mean we're going to have a holiday, or is it only when the holiday falls on a Sunday? Somebody please tell me. I'm not too sharp in terms of my recollection of that one. Will we be having a holiday on Monday because of Independence falling on a Saturday, or it's only if it fell on a Sunday? Let me know. But caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I heard Cameron Law. He made a statement where he said that the Prime Minister have no respect for police officers, total disregard for the bargaining process. I was wondering whether Cameron Law was living on another planet. Because the Prime Minister have done more for police officers than any Prime Minister in the history of our country. And as Reggie said, Alan Chasney defunded the police. They didn't even have a budget for training, you know. And during the reign of the Alan Chasney administration, a lot of these problems that Cameron Law is talking about, they were there at that time, but he was not really vocal on these issues at that time, you know.
Okay.
And I remember after Alan Chasney destroyed custody suites, making the work of the police even more difficult, Cameron Law was silent. He never said anything. So, the Prime Minister have done more, and he will still do more for the police. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. All right, let me just release this call. 487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that number. Don't leave it for the last 5 minutes. There's some people who listen to the program and then, they want to call in the very last couple of minutes and so on. We really can. Okay, we're getting another call now. Hi, caller. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Shelton Daniel.
Hey, forward luck.
Yes, après papa bon Dieu, comment vous m'y là?
Moi là, moi bien merci. Qui nouvelle?
Oui, après papa bon Dieu, forward là.
Ok. Parlez, nous qu'à-côté ou?
Rabbi bon Dieu blessing because il a mis témoin à manière à moi mandé, puis il a mis témoin à papa, oui merci. Et c'est pas nous toute nation, generation. Je crié pour amender. Tant ça me amender pour prayer for the nation. God the power and might. We thank and praise thee for your goodness and acts of mercy. Have mercy upon us. Behold us and show us the light of thy mercies. Send thy fear upon our nation, that we may know there is no other God besides thee. Lift up thy hands over St. Lucia, that we may see thy power. Heal the hearts of our nations. Sanctified and purified our action and the way of life, that we may be a holy nation. Give wisdom and fortitude to our leaders, that they may guide our nation in your precepts. Give love, patience, and hope to our youth and strengthen our families. We make this prayer in the name of your beloved Son, Jesus Christ, who is Lord, forever and ever. Amen, amen, and amen. as we kneel before you, Lord, as we kneel before you, and we bow our head and pray. Take this day, make it yours, and now and to embrace. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu. Let the word of my mouth be accepted, held today and tomorrow always. Thank you, Lord, thank you, Jesus Christ.
Merci un peu le forward là. Moi bien content m'entendre voir et puis toujours qu'à faire non chat plaisir. Alors jusqu'à l'autre coup, là nous qu'à causer encore. All right. Forward là. Okay, folks. Now, where's my real issues? I'm trying to see where I can find it. Real FM. Okay, all right. I think that's it right there in front of me now. All right, we continue taking your calls. 487-9849. Bernardines, where are you? 487-9849. And we also on 4533911. And like I said, we have a temporary for WhatsApp messages. And that is, I'm sorry, but the live is kind of confusing me. One time I'm saying, okay. 3844-397, you can send us WhatsApp messages on this temporary WhatsApp number. That's for today's program. All right, let's see. Good afternoon to you, Anselma Imab, who says yes, forward lab, blessings, amen. Someone says all those who don't want the back pick and deposit it on my account. Miguel Favory agrees, he wants them to deposit that on his as well. I tell you. Okay, folks. Trying to see if I can get more of the comments from the live. But Jaquan, can you send the link for today's program for me to 3844-397? You think you can do that? Let me see if I can be able to call up the comments apart from the video dominating the whole page. Something I've never quite learned to do. All right, 487-9849, the WhatsApp line call, and you can also reach us on 4533-911. Some time ago, I believe I told you that I would expect, as we move closer to an election, you'll find certain trade unionists beginning to act up, beginning to flex their muscles. For two reasons. It doesn't necessarily have to be political, but people figure elections are coming, that this is the best time to squeeze something out of politicians, ministers, governments, prime ministers, because they'll be so jittery about what could happen in the elections that they'll virtually give you what you want. And the second one is a political agenda. They are trade unionists who never mind all their history about the black consciousness and the this and the that and the workers and all of that. They're very much in the pay and in the pockets of politicians and political parties. And so they are going to do exactly what they have been groomed and trained and induced and paid and all of that to do. I won't tell you who I'm talking about, you figure. And they're going to behave in certain ways whether you like it or not. And you can expect that. And I believe maybe we have entered into that home stretch where we're going to see them doing that. Perhaps it has begun already. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Hey, good afternoon, Shelton. Carlton here.
Hey, hi, Doc. How are you doing?
Yeah, I wanted to change the topic. Yesterday marked, I think, the 12th anniversary of the death of John Odlum.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say the impact which he made on the lives of young people. For me personally, I would not have got a scholarship without John Odlum's intervention.
Okay.
I remember after the 79 election, a group of SLC supporters, we would gather every day and drink some booze. And one day John Odlum came and said he was looking for me because he heard I had spoken on Gregor Mason's platform. And he said, everybody was saying how impressive I was. So Then he asked me what I was doing with my life. I said to him I had applied for a scholarship and I didn't get through. He took my name down, okay? And my number. And that afternoon, same day, I was told come down to the training division to sign a bond.
Oh.
Because I was qualified, but I'd been turned down. Because under the John Compton administration, if they didn't know your father or mother, you had a very difficult life. And people need to understand, it was 79, the year independence, and we got lots of scholars. Everybody was given scholarships.
Okay.
And some of these were just left there. It was the SLP administration that really opened up the scholarships. But the important point I want to make is that with regard to Cuba, without SLP, there would be no Cuban scholarships. Because in those days, apart from giving scholarships to the government, the SLP also had an allocation of scholarships.
That's right, for the party itself.
And for the party itself. And John Odlum was instrumental in giving, because there was a joke. We had a joke, sir. Pagué by John, we used to call him John D. You can't be in Cuba. Party bonjour. You can't be in Cuba. Apart the call because I was John D. But you didn't more power for Cuba. That's the, that's the impact he had on you.
Yes.
Lots, and I see a lot of those people who didn't have O levels, who had 1 or 2, who would probably still be working at SNS, who was sent to Cuba because of people like John D, John or Jono.
Yes.
And these people are against the SLP.
Indeed, an all-round nice guy.
And that hurts. That hurts my heart because, like I said, see, you take Guye by John D. Ikavio Cuba. That's how that's how ridiculous it was. People were just picked up and given SLP scholarships.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk about the contribution of the late John Odlum and SLP. Okay?
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Carlton Augustine, doing some recollections. Okay, let's take another call coming in on the landline. Good afternoon. Real Issues, you're on the air. Hello? Hello? Hi, caller, are you there? Okay. Hi, caller, are you there? Hello? Okay, all right. I find that strange. My hand didn't go hit it that hard. All right, 487-9849. Do we have someone on the line? I'm saying live caller. 487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that number. And you can also call us on 4533911. I won't mention about the temporary WhatsApp messages number. Maybe I might be confusing you with too many numbers, so we'll stick to the two. You can WhatsApp call us on 487-9849, and you can live call us on 4533911. Good afternoon to the people on the Facebook Live and Saba Christians. Bon après-midi pour Stephanie Cauldron, H. Allison Tyson Davis, and Conrad. Maria Bonaparte, good afternoon to you. Let's take that call. Good afternoon, Real Issues. You're on the air. Hello? Yeah, I didn't press it twice. Somebody is maybe having difficulty getting us, or maybe just occupying the line. I don't know. So let me just release that call. Felipe Gabe. All right. I guess that's how the Spanish would pronounce it. Over in Mexico. Always a pleasure having you with us. Anna Rosa Nimoni. Excuse my ignorance, but how did Allen become Minister of Tourism? I don't know. John Compton made him, wasn't he? He was a senator here, so he was appointed as a minister through the Senate. Carlton Augustine has already answered that. Conrad says we had some deportation last week in the UK. I don't know how many St. Lucians were on that list. Charleston Tyson Davis says money plus money equals more money. Somebody says I have seen 5 cents and 10 cents fight in my pocket. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. You get in the back pay, you get in whatever because you have some political agenda. You quarrel in with your members getting money. I don't know. And I don't understand how some people are thinking. It can only mean the very politically driven. Tell me how paying the back pay to everybody, which is due when it's accepted that is due. How is that interfering with negotiations? It's not interfering with negotiations. What it is doing is that it is making your own position and your agenda a little difficult for you to pursue and carry out, because people are not going to quarrel with money. And you realize that if you don't take it, that's what Philip JP should have said, I'm prepared to pay out the money that has been agreed to with the other unions, to the Police Welfare Association and NWU, but I first need to ask their representatives whether it's okay to go ahead and deposit them, and go and say no. Go and say no, and the Prime Minister say, I'm sorry, police, I'm sorry, NWU people, I cannot pay you all the money because your leaders, your representatives in the negotiation said they will not accept it, and so on. And you'd see, that's what you're all afraid, the pressure it would put you all under within your own organization. So now you're trying to vent and to pass your rage on the Prime Minister, because the rage you would have gotten from your own members, you would not be able to stand it. So now, contrariétés on le Premier Ministre. They're intelligent people in this country, still. They're still intelligent people in this country. And Saba Christian said they should write on it, return to sender, Accountant General, Treasury Department. Aman sends a message which I'm struggling not to answer. The wet cat is a perfect example, playing she like SLP, but will be on Facebook blasting the Prime Minister address. Which wet cat is that? Not sure. He says, Shelton, bless up. Eusebia Jean-Baptiste, good afternoon to you. She says, you have me thinking hard, Shelton. Tell me about what you're thinking, please. Wilma Amede says, that's right. This is money owed to them, so shouldn't they collect it? This guy shouldn't be a negotiator. I don't know. Back pay to me, it's already settled matter. Okay, the quantum of pay increase, but the back pay to me, that's, that is, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Zibia Jean-Baptiste believes they're anti-government. Sorry, folks, I'm using a different phone and all of that now, so it's kind of, if I seem a little less fluid than I normally am, it's because of not having my phone and using another device that I don't use very often. And that's why I tell you we have a temporary number for WhatsApp messaging, which is 3844-4397 if you prefer to type a WhatsApp message. But I'm reading from the Facebook Live. Son Mel says, so you are so true. There's a man, he spent 9 years in Cuba. Now he is so flambeau. Unruly Boss Die says, all those who don't want the back pay, give it to me. I'm hungry. All right. Okay. Wilma Amedi says, Forwardla always gets the line because she's special. Good afternoon to you, Shelley Fanis, Maria Joseph. Wilma says, Shelton, I think you are trying to understand humanity. Good luck. I think I'm having some of that. Alright. Let me see what that's. Once again, folks, sorry about that. Doing it from a device that. Lou Prudence says, Miguel, even in February, it simply shows the idiocy which has permeated our society. I'm more pissed off. Me in the private sector ain't getting nothing. Del Manuel, when they go low, we go high. She says, Wilma Amedi adds, I will not even tell people I am smart because I don't know that, but I will not let, I think she may not let them run rings around me. Jomo Leopold, good afternoon to you. He says, our people are the best, us alone that can watch a 30-minute documentary on a subject, and we are now empowered to speak like experts on that subject, Yeah, we need to watch it. I know there's a greater democratization of information and knowledge and this kind of thing, but we have to be very careful. Too many of us are parading ourselves as having some kind of expertise and so on, and believing we can even instruct and advise people and so on, and all we are doing is leading them further astray as we lead our own selves astray. Terry Alex, good afternoon to you. Jomo Leopold says, during COVID, everybody was an expert on DNA or viruses or Wuhan and whatnot. Yeah. Shas is the ultimate expert on everything, economics, law, just name it, says Jomo Leopold. Marie Blanchard Green, good afternoon to you, as well as Del Manuel, who says, may you always rest in peace, my uncle Gregor Mason. Amen. Yeah. Former minister, representative for Grozile, one of the casualties of that 79 to 82 leadership struggle in the SLP administration. I think we never really got to see and experience the best of that man as we should have. But anyway, it is what it is. He's moved on to the great beyond. May he continue to rest in peace. I see that. Good day, Mr. Daniel and viewers. Pleasant and blessed day. Stay safe. Thank you very much. And I see Renick Ariste wrote something there. It says, well, okay, I won't repeat it because at some point somebody told me there was not going to be any of what he's referencing. And the night I remember I sat down and I watched the program, and I had already gone and told people that there's not going to be any program, and it turned out to be misleading information. Cameron is living on Allen's 23 Islands. Alright. Okay, Lou Prudence says Saturday is the holiday. If it fell on the Sunday, then Monday would be. Okay, thank you very much. I hope this is accurate information. Let me see. Sean Cherubin says, just to say you forgot your phone home today. Alright. Okay. Trump is a lost cause, says Gloriana Henry. And someone says KKRR forgot Garfield Oliver called him a tub of lard. Yeah, I don't know. Miguel Fevrier says, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to be talking about KKRR and his choices and what he does and so on. That's the man's choices, you know. I kind of feel sometimes we complain about certain people and then we boost them and elevate them by giving them so much attention and all that sort of thing. You know, if KKR is what you say, a vacillator and a man who swings here and swings there and so on, to me he would be so discredited that why do you want to always be giving him the boost of relevance by talking about him and so on? You know, that's my whole thing. Is he really in any way significant or, you know, of any kind of, does he have any significance in the scheme of things? Alright, let's take that. It has to be our final call, I'm sure. Good afternoon, Real Issues, you're on the air. Hello? Oh, I have a problem here today. I suspect somebody's trying to get the line and they're not getting through. Alright. Selwyn Kasich Pascal says, real talk on the real issues. Alright, let me say this. Eusebia said, I miss Mahoney Oje today, but Mahoney says Malawi. Alright, so I think we're gonna have to leave it at that today. I'm sorry, folks. I'm a little halting, but working on a new device, like I said, doesn't let me be as smooth as I normally am when it comes to reading messages. Alright. Yep, my brother who played basketball with the national side got a scholarship to Australia when SLP was in office. As soon as the EWP got into office, it was taken away. That was during the 79 to 82 era. I think that'll do it for us for today on the real issues. Thank you so very much, everyone who was part of it. Let's do it again tomorrow for the final time this week from 12:30 until 2 on Real FM, NBC Television, Facebook and YouTube live streaming. On behalf of Jaquan, Shelton Daniel saying enjoy the rest of your Thursday safely and goodbye for now from the real issues.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of